is just okay.
Start the show already. Sheesh.
Yeah. Clicking cap off. Welcome to the master. I'm your daily dose of you won't never guess. Dripping on the timeline, spicy ever take. I season the bin and neck, serve it on a plate. This is ketchup commentary, the tangy kind of daddy. Sweet with the sting when the flakes get sweaty. Feisty on the mic, every word got bite. You came for mile, you won't ask tonight. Yeah.
Rubbing that thing, babe, this is about to get red. Name in your mouth, I'll live in your head.
Passing bang, this ain't about to get red. Flame in your mouth, I'll live in your head.
Well, Ketchup, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing good. Glad to see that you're here after yesterday. I was all alone yesterday.
I know. You did a good job, though. I'm sorry I was gone, you guys.
No, once in a while it's okay to have just J Hip unfiltered and all alone to see whatever the hell happens and how I get myself in trouble. But I kept it together pretty good.
Yeah, you did. I asked you, just don't get us canceled.
That's right. Now, today we're going to return to Darrell Brooks, of course, but before we do that, I have to say hello to all you fine folks. I love Myrtle Beach and Tracy Spencer and Happy and Faves and Rick Friend, my friend. How are you? Good morning, Sarcastic One. Let me see. Rickles is here. Mel Clump, Muppet Angela, Tracy Spencer, Juliet, Leg Warmer Lady. Hello, Happy. Look around. Happy said, good morning to all my friends and Jay.
That was nice.
About that one. Yeah. Denise Melanoff is here. Hi, Denise. How are you? Ken Smalley's here. Hi, Ken. How are you? Let me see. I'm scrolling up to see if I missed anybody here, at least from the earlier. I think Ellie Riddle was here. Hi, Ellie Riddle and David Del Prince. Hi, David. How are you, my friend? Joan Feathers here. Feather. I don't know. Hello, Ellie Riddle, by the way. Mel Klump also, I don't know. Hi, Cubby Cat just came in. I just saw Cubby Cat and Joe Schmitz came in. Denise sells a lot of stuff. M Spire, Sister Cell. Let me see. I'm trying to get caught up. Lynn, Lavender, Dragonfly, Robert Tower, James Francis, Melissa, good morning. And I think Softly Spoken One's here. Hi, Softly Spoken. How are you? How are you, my friend? Liz Barnes is here. Good morning. Jack's mom. Hi. Badger John is here, and I'm all caught up. And Mel Clump says, we love our ketchup. Jay, well, yeah, so thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. My fine sir. No. I mean, my dear friend. I love you, dear Mel. What a sweetheart.
Morning, everybody.
I meant my dear ma'am. My dear ma'am. Hi, Colleen. Colleen's here. Now, did you watch the show last night of the Fleabags?
I did. I only made it halfway through so far. I gotta finish the rest.
Yeah, sometimes people have asked me why I don't flea cap their Saturday show, why we do something else on Sunday, because Saturday's show is pretty much a rehash of Thursday's show. They catch up on Cooper, Pooper, Scooper, and J-Hip and Tug and all the stuff. And then they just whine for a little bit, and then they move on to a bunch of silliness. But Squat Pump was back last night. Squat Pump was back.
I did hear that.
Yeah, Squat Pump was back, and Every time she came over, all right, Fleabag has to mute. All right. Jay, you make me smile every time with that. It never gets old. You're welcome, my fine sir. Ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Leave Mel alone.
Hey, Zach's here. Hi, Zach. I'm here. So stop yelling at me. I'm not
Hey,
yelling.
Zach.
No, she. It was funny because every time, hi, Patty Cake. Every time that she came over, Fleabag had to mute. And then Tammy J kept going, why don't we just end the stream? Like, we've gone long enough. Why don't we could just end? And then Fleabag kept it going, and finally Squat pumps over again, and she's about to mute. She's like, we can just end. We can just end.
Tammy's like, for the love of God, let me go.
It was so funny. And then, like, Tammy J is begging Fleabag not to do a Sunday Spun Day. She's like, why don't we just do Oscars with Kendra? Or why don't we just do, we could do like What the Hell's for 30 minutes and then just go over right into, other stuff. And she's like, it's Sunday Monday, or it's Sunday Spun Day. We got to do that. And, we're never going to finish it. 30 minutes. Maybe we do Oscars and then we do Jeremy Hills at the end of the show. And she's like, yeah, or we could just not do it at all. And she's like, no, I mean, it's Sunday Spun Day. Jesus.
She can't help herself. She's obsessed.
She can't. Hi, Penny and Mr. Landfill. How are you? Ice-T. What? How are you, my friend? How are you? Lurking me off. How are you? Good morning, my friend. But yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot with their Saturday night stream because they're typically quite boring, to be honest with you. And I mean, I was quite bored last night. I still watch the show or listen to the show, I guess. There's not much to watch, of course, but I listen to the show. And, there's no slobby. Gabe was high as shit, of course. Pretty standard.
Oh, yeah, he was.
It was funny, though, on Thursday. I forgot this in my fleek out because he was talking about how the army guy who stole the drones from whatever the fort it was in Kentucky. And he's like, oh, yeah. And then he starts talking about some guy who, like, went and attacked or maybe offed a ROTC teacher or something. He's like, yeah, they were over there and they were, this guy went into like one of those military recruit places, like an ICR, not RC, it's TCM, it's a THB. It's and then finally, 20 minutes later, someone in chat finally goes, you mean ROTC? Oh yeah, ROTC, that's what, man, it's ROTC. He's so high, he can't even get ROTC out of his mouth. It was something to see. Hi, Michael R. How are you, my friend? How are you? But yeah, they're always a delight when Gabe's on high as shit. But no, Pump Squad. And, she made a good comment to us last night, Chop Chop.
Yeah, I didn't get that far yet.
Well, of course, Tammy J said hi to us, of course. And then Fleabag said, listen, Just J-Hep, if you need to know what a squat pump is, maybe you need to go look it up. I don't want to know anything about what a squat pump is. No. If it's related to a loofah-mobile or any of your other disgusting crap, I have no interest in knowing what a squat pump is.
Yeah, I'm not looking that up.
It appears to be your disgusting neighbor, is the best I can tell. Oh my God, they're amazing. Joan sent me a message or a pic on Messenger. Okay, hang on. Is it a picture? Is it appropriate? What would you send me here? Let's see. Oh wait, hang on. Let me see. I'll click on this one. Well, this seems quite inappropriate. Um, what the hell is this that you're sending me? I guess I'll share it. Okay, well, we can make it bigger here. Enjoying on your street, your driveway, enjoying my hobbies outside. F each and every single one of you haters, starring me in transparent latex onesie. I'm getting humid. Direct sunlight kissing most of my damp and fuzzy skin. What are you sending me? What is this stuff here? I am not comfortable with this. I'm not comfortable.
What's happening to Bert?
I don't know, and I'm not comfortable with it. Not at all. I did appreciate Tug though yesterday. You know, he was talking about them coming after his channel possibly. And he's like, well, I don't go after their channel because, you know, I don't want to make just J-Hip cry. All right, because what would he do? What would he do without his favorite show? You know, and so, no, I appreciate that. Thank you, Tug. Thank you, Tug. And for all the fine members over here, welcome to the, the Just J-Hip Jugs Thugs.
Oh, jeez. Not again.
By the way, have you guys, Faves, I don't know if you could you put a link in there for Star's channel? Have you noticed Star's putting up some new material now?
I know. I saw she had a video yesterday.
I was out with, I had bad back pain the last couple days. Hi, Tricky Nikki.
Did you go to work last night?
Of course. Yeah, I went to work.
Oh.
But yeah, Jugs Pugs. I've been certification, Kim Dodds. Yeah, I went to work, of course, but no, I hadn't messaged Star in a few days because I basically either been doing a stream or sleeping, and resting. So I hadn't messaged her, but I have to message her after the show today. And because I know YouTube was being very a-hole to her and very unfair to Tug or to Star. But now she's putting up new material, so maybe she's figured out a way to get past what they were flagging her for, which was complete bullshit in the first place. I'll make that.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, maybe she's putting out some new content to try and build up her watch hours and stuff. I don't know. Again, after deleting stuff that they completely were a-hole about. So I'll have to message her and see if, because yeah, she was talking about taking down the whole thing, but now it seems like she's back up and going strong again. I think I saw 2 videos. There was one with Faves and the dogs, maybe they got some presents from the dogs, and then they had some deer, all right, playing, I don't know, football or something in her backyard or something.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of deer, but yeah, maybe I could pull that up or something. Give me 1 sec here. Let me get out of this thing here. Let me go see where we can find Star at. Of course, but yeah, I'll have to text her after the show now that I'm back to feeling, I feel a little bit better. I got off work today, and I actually was able, I lifted some weights for a little bit. And yeah, feeling a little bit better now that I was, able to do that for a little bit. I don't think there's any volume on this one, but let's see. Score snow.
Yeah, I don't think it has sound.
Okay, yeah, then I can just play it. Let me put that up there. But yeah, go check out Star. She's putting up some new material. Yeah, this one here. We got the deers outside. Like, comment, share, subscribe. All right, so it seems like she's back up and going. Look, now you got all the deer out there. It looks like they're playing football or something. I don't know. It seems like a team sport going on here. Team sport, which is always good.
That's so cool.
A team activity.
She gets a lot of cool animal life in her yard.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool. I used to, in my old house, But then as the neighborhood developed, they kind of disappeared. There would be times I would go to work and we would see I would see like deer jogging down the sidewalk, which was always odd. There'd be like a group of three of them just jogging down the sidewalk. I'm like, oh look, the deer are jogging today. That's interesting. Um,
Yeah, they're probably running from you. Word's gotten around.
yeah, after the turkey incident, they're like, get the hell out of here.
Oh, and you had a deer print on your hood for a while, didn't you?
That
Your old car?
that too, yeah, I did. I did. I lightly popped a deer. All right, it ran off.
Lightly.
It was fine. It was outside of the crossing area, so it wasn't my fault. But the speed limit in this area was 55. Okay, and I slowed down enough to where I just slightly gave it a little tap on the rear, a little tap, tap, tap a roo.
Yeah, my parents live like out in the country and we used to live out that way, and so I have a deer whistle thing on my car.
Oh, that's
It
yeah.
doesn't actually make noise that you can hear, but it's kind of similar to like a dog whistle. It makes a pitch that they can hear so that it
Oh,
scares them away.
I've heard about those, but yeah, you can see. But yeah, Star Star's got some new material she's putting up, which is terrific. Go check out Star Star. Did we drop a link for Star Star? I didn't see.
Yeah, I can put another one in.
Okay, yeah, yeah. But yeah, go check out Star Star. Because yeah, it's nice to see that she's putting out material here. So hopefully, I know she was so disappointed in YouTube, but now hopefully maybe she's figured some things out. She had one of the puppies, Auntie Fave spoiled us. We love you. I have my favorites, so look at that. Go check out her material. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. And of course, we always love our Star Star. Hi, Chuck E. Cheese. Is Jay spying on his next car destruction derby?
Probably, Chucky. Probably. Picking
No.
out his victims.
Hi, Bonnie. How are you, Bonnie? Oh, but anyways, yeah, we got through that last night. I watched the Fleabags. Like I said, they're relatively boring on Saturdays. That's why I don't flea cap them. There's not much to see. There's not much to see. Hang on, let me get to our
Hey, Calvin.
material for today. Let me see. I gotta go find it. I pulled together a few different videos. We're gonna watch a few different things. Let's see here. Scroll down, scroll down. Let's see which one we want to start with. It's a tough one. This is a tough one to choose from. Let's see. You know what? Well, let's save that one. Let's go to this one. Ba, 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 ba. All right, let's do this one to start things off with. Now, at the end of sentencing, well, actually, before we get to Darrell Brooks, we've already watched this where Darrell Brooks does his sentencing statements and everything. Well, Jay's channel survived him being all alone on a live stream. Yeah, well, sort of. I mean, I lost 5 subscribers over it. I don't even know what I did, but I lost
Oh
5
no.
subscribers over whatever I did. I don't even think I did anything.
Yeah, I thought you did okay yesterday. Pretty good,
Yeah, I don't
actually.
know. They were dropping like hot rocks or something. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did. You know what's funny though? Because I got an email from one person that was all upset. So I guess I'll address this since I have a few minutes. They were all upset because I was nice to Flutter and Stacy Knapp. Okay, and here's the thing about that. Am I not supposed to be nice? For instance, should I not be nice to Miyagi or Peculiar? All right.
Hey,
I mean, that's the thing. You look at Jeremy Hales. He was even the ring pair for mine and Miyagi's wedding. All right. So at what point am I supposed to just be mean to people just because? If people's minds can be changed in a different direction, that's the point of the show. All right. It's not to continue to pick on them for whatever you think they said or did wrong in the past or whatever side of the aisle they were on. All right. You have to remember Miyagi herself. She put out some videos about Jeremy Hills that were not super nice, I would say. Hi, Kelvin. How are you? But you know what? It just shows that my show is the one that a lot of people come to first. Okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not covering Jeremy Hill's case. All right? I'm covering the anti house ecosystem of frauds, fools, and felons. And that's why they come here first. Because they're looking for a place to maybe get some answers, but also maybe to see the flaws of the flea bag. All right, rather than just jump right in and I'm best friends with Jeremy Hills now. No, they're looking for info, they're looking for fun, and they're looking for a change of pace. All right, so there's no need to like rage quit or be mad because I'm
Yeah.
nice or our chat is nice. It's about creating a different perspective,
Well,
and
and it's a different atmosphere over here. It's not
right,
as serious over here. Well, actually, not serious really at all. You know,
and
we just
I
like to have fun over here, and we're nice to everybody anyway.
yeah, and I only cover the dummies. You know, I mean, I don't read court documents here. I don't weigh in on court documents here. It's not what I do. So yeah, softly spoken says, yeah, it's fun here. And so that's why even Miyagi, when she first came over, she said, hey, I got a message that this was kind of the place to be. She's like, I'm still not on like Jeremy Hill's side, but she's like, I really hate the flea bag. And I said, well, this is the place to be. If you hate the flea bag, you're a friend of mine. All right. That's the whole point. And then eventually, look at what happens. Look at what happens over time. Over time, people like Miyagi are taken in and we love her. All right. But so and that's why it's I always say I don't need to hate on people who are coming here looking for something different or just looking for someone who's exposing fraud through a
Well,
fun
and
way.
they also really thought that she was their friend. And so they thought they were doing the right thing and supporting their friend at the time.
Yeah. And
Hindsight is always 2020. You know what I mean?
and they get to come over here in a fun way in the same way with like Tizzy to bounce. They get to go and watch Tizzy and be like, hey, hang on. There's a different side, and over time, you know, they can be I don't know reconditioned, I guess.
Yes, that's a good point, Big Dirt. Stacy is always kind to everyone in her chat, and she always has been. Well, except for the time her friend or her mod got mad at Jay and Miyagi, but that wasn't Stacy's fault.
Again, she tried to make up for it, maybe not in the
Yeah,
best
and that
way.
wasn't her fault
I
that it
mean,
happened.
I think the reaction, but you have to understand when you're being conditioned by somebody just full of hate, like Fleabag is.
Yeah,
When you're conditioned that way, you start treating everybody in a similar manner because you think you're protecting a friend, and then you find out that
mm,
they're really not a friend. Actually,
right.
you think someone's protecting a child, and then you find out that no, they taking this person's money is holding it hostage, and and literally done terrible, terrible things. And that's the whole point. That doesn't mean even Jeremy Hales said to Miyagi, this is about a month or two ago. He's like, I won't forget the things that you've done because she put up some pretty, you know, let's just say not nice videos about Jeremy Hills. But you know what? He was able to maybe, I don't know, forgive, came on a same
Yeah,
string with Miyagi. All right. He was a,
people have to forgive and move on, like at a certain point.
And that's why I'm never mean to anybody in the chat other than Jim or Bruce Manskin. All right, I've,
And
I've
we weren't really even mean to Jim. We were just playing with him.
and even Bruce. I wasn't mean to Bruce. The only problem was he was stealing my whole chat. Everyone was bailing on just J Hip because they wanted to go watch Boner Crusher spread the truth. Okay, so he was stealing my whole show. Everybody was abandoning me for Reboner Crusher.
So I don't think any of us went that
No,
are here.
no, I didn't. I left my show. I shut it down and for myself. I was like, I need to go check out this. He just wants his 12,000 a month from Jeremy. Yeah, I do. Hi, Nemesis. How are you, my friend? How are you? But no, if you want to know, there's no need to rage quit because I'm kind. I'm kind to everybody. Although, except the anti-house ecosystem, but people that might want to see a different side, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. Come over, look at Peculiar.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to agree on everything to
Yeah.
be nice to one another.
I mean, yeah, Miyagi said not so nice things, and the next thing you know, I married her, for God's sakes, you know? I mean, are you suggesting I should divorce Miyagi and throw her out of the chat and block her only because at one point in time she didn't like Jeremy Hales? No, that's not how this works. All right? That's not how this works. Kelvin has a question. What's your question, Kelvin? God damn it. Oh, where's that? Kelvin had a question.
He said, I think we should all rage quit, but we won't.
Well, I appreciate that, but no, I can't do Fleabag stuff or Hale stuff 7 days a week. I can't because there's too many other channels doing it that are bigger than me. Tug and Megan do it. All right, and they're terrific. All right, and Shizzy does it. All right, not 7 days a week, but he does it a few days, and Coop does it 5 days, and Squid does it occasionally, and Rosalind Duke. I have my limit. I have my fill. I do 3 flea caps a week, and I call it good unless something insanely crazy happens, like Slobby goes out and calls everybody a dumb punt for an hour and a half. And then it's like, well, now I have to do a special. Then it becomes a little bit different. But anyways, we have some Darrell Brooks sentencing here that I was going to share. Let me see. I wanted to get to. Let me see if I get to the important ones. Oh yeah, we want this guy, and this guy. This is important. All right. We're going to go over just a few of the individuals that are, giving their impact statements. I got just a few pulled up that we'll share. And then I have just a whole barrage of stuff that we're going to share as we kind of close things down here on the Darrell Brooks trial and move on. Let's see here. I'll add this to the stage. I don't know if I'm in the exact right spot. Give me 1 sec here.
Under the circumstances, I think that's appropriate. Okay, with that, I presume the state has the next group available.
Yes, we're ready to go, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, then go ahead, please.
On November 21st, you killed my mother. And in this courtroom, I watched you run her down and her broken body slide across the concrete. This woman loved and she was loved. You ran her down like she was nothing. And since that day, you have shown no remorse. You'd offered no explanation for your atrocities. It offends me that you're sitting here breathing while she is not. You are a monster. You deserve contempt and death. Sadly, with no death penalty in this state, I can only hope they lock you away someplace so deep the rats chew on your fingers at night. As for me, this will never be over until the day I'm pissing on your grave. I think it would be fair to say that for your crimes, even God hates you.
If you could just tell me, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, for the record, Your Honor, that was the son of victim
2.
B.
If I could first thank the court, you, Your Honor, and your staff for getting us here today. I don't know how you did. You kept us under 4 weeks, and this is all going to be wrapped up, before the first anniversary, and that means a lot. So I thank you for that. And if I could thank everybody at the prosecution table, real life Avengers. I mean, you guys did everything you could for us, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you. And I couldn't not thank Jen Dunn and her staff. I mean, she took all of us, supported us, made us into a family, and without them, I don't think I could have gotten through this trial. And Mr. Brooks, I hope as I read my statement, you continue to roll your eyes. I hope you continue to laugh and just show how bored and unmoved you are by all of this, because I think that's important. It's important for the world to see that evil can be a tangible, living, breathing thing. I think it's important for the world to see what human rot looks like. And to all the survivors, every time he puts his hand on that empty cavity where his heart should be, I hope you all smile, and I hope you take solace in the fact that today is our day. Today is for us. Today is so we can take our handful of dirt, throw it on his grave, and move on, because that's what we all need, and that's what we deserve. My name is Chris Owen, and I am the plaintiff. I'm here on behalf of another plaintiff, my mother, Leanna Joy Owen. Lee Owen was a mother, a grandmother, a best friend, an apartment manager, and a dancing granny. The reason none of the witnesses saw her in this courtroom is because she was executed by a child-killing sex offender. And we are both injured parties. My whole family is an injured party. To my kids, Lee Owen was nanny.
Not really holding back on some of these individuals. Thank you, Calvin, for the one just JF gifted membership. Thank you, my friend.
No, he's really nailing it.
Cunning Linguist received that membership. Thank you, Calvin. If you received that, thank Calvin. He works hard for his money. He's wonderful, wonderful. We do love Calvin over here. Despite all the terrible things I say about him, we do love him. We do. Thank you, my friend, and welcome. All right, to the hippies. It's weird in here, but you'll get used to it. You do the thing.
Meow.
Meow. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, this guy's not real happy. That's for sure.
And Nanny spoiled her grandkids every chance she got. On every birthday, she would call and sing happy birthday to their voicemail so they could hear it the first thing in the morning. She went on a tour of my son's summer camp. She danced in the same parades as my youngest daughter. She wanted my oldest daughter to use her car to learn how to drive so she could teach her like she taught me. And all of that has been ripped away. But the defendant's conscience is clear. To my dad, Lee Owen was the love of his life. They met when she was 16, and he taught her how to drive. From that point on, they stayed in each other's lives. And even though they divorced, she was still his best friend. They spent a lot of time together, and she was the only one who could get him out of the house. Now my dad has nightmares of her body flying through the air and shattering against concrete. But Mr. Brooks' conscience is clear. To my brother and I, Lee Owen was our mother. A mother who, even when she was struggling, was always there for us. She was supportive of us. She always told us how proud she was of us. Growing up, all my friends and my brother's friends knew they were welcomed at our house. When they were in trouble, having problems at home, or just had to get away, she always let them stay as long as they needed to. And for years, every time I came home from the Marine Corps, she got all those same friends together so I could see everybody and spend time with them. She was the one that made sure everyone got their Christmas list out on time. She made the best eggnog I ever had. And she made my grandma's mac and cheese whenever we were together. She recently renewed her passport so she could visit my wife and I in Turkey and travel the world with us. She also couldn't wait to visit Machu Picchu with my brother. It was her dream trip. Out of all the places in the world, that was the one place she had to visit before she died. And now the best we can do is lay her ashes there. But Darrell Brooks' conscience is clear. And I believe him. Out of everything he said in this courtroom, I believe that is the one truth he told. I mean, how else could he make a witness look at each of his battered friends that he ran over and ask, how do you know who this is? Throughout her life, Lee Owen was a hardworking woman. That's why when she found herself on hard times, she was able to overcome them. Even though it took years, she dug herself out of a deep financial hole so she could live the life she wanted, the life she deserved. And she was in the middle of doing just that on the evening of November 21st, 2021. And I know this is corny and cliche to say, but Lee Owen wasn't 71 years old. She was 71 years young. She was one of the most active people I knew. She just didn't have it in her to sit still. She always had to be moving or doing something, and this often involved people. She was very social and loved being around those she cared about, and people loved her back. She had a knack for making you feel good about yourself without even trying, because she always found the good in people. Even when it was to her detriment, it never dissuaded her from helping people any way she could, without judgment, without demand for repayment or feeling she was owed anything. She did it because she knew it was the right thing to do, and it made her feel good. She accepted people for who they were and made people feel good about themselves. That is what the world lost, and you have the audacity to tell this court that your conscience is clear. I'm sorry, Mr. Brooks. There's not a human with a soul on this planet who could snuff that light out, who could steal Lee Owen from this world and have a clear conscience. And that is why you hear the term monster. That is why you hear the term demon. You know, I saw you that day. It was just after you ran over the Catholics. I saw you hanging out of the window, looking back with a smile of satisfaction on your face, laughing at an inside joke that at the time I didn't get, the punchline escaping me. I didn't get it when my mom didn't respond to my texts. I didn't get it when she didn't answer my phone calls. I didn't get it the first couple hours my brother spent looking for her. I didn't get it until my wife sent me a video of you running over children in the parade. That's when I got the punchline. And it hit me like your red SUV, Mr. Brooks. I saw a pure, unrepentant evil in your face that day, and it disgusts me that you are allowed to exist. And I know the answer to the question that everyone keeps asking. I know why you did this. You did this simply because you were not in a cage. That is what I find mind-boggling. And how dare anyone say the system failed him? The system failed every one of us whose only mistake was to bring their families in the vicinity of Mr. Brooks. That poor excuse for a man should not have been on the streets. That is the failure, period. But enough about him, because today is not about him. It's about us and what we lost. I lost my mom, Lee Owen, and I wasn't always a good son. I could be selfish sometimes. I could be mean. But no matter how angry or standoffish I got, she would bend over backwards for me, even when I didn't deserve it. And now I can never tell her I'm sorry. I can never tell her I should have been more grateful. I can never tell her how much I need her in my life. Yeah, shake your head. Shake your head. You know, because that is what you took from me. And there's nothing this court can do that would provide justice in my eyes. So all I ask is that you rot, and you rot slow.
Thank you.
Oh, you bitch.
Oh, you think that's the worst part?
He clapped.
I know. Do you think that's the worst part?
Oh, man.
No,
I hope so.
no, it's not. It's not. The journey
Aw.
comes on. I'm skipping over. Now, listen. There are a lot of kids that talk here and stuff like that. Thanks, Jay. It helps us to see how most of us feel. You know what? I just wanted to show a couple of those. I might show a couple more. I mean, this does go on for 4 hours. But Attorney Opera, which you haven't seen, is her ending statement after all of these responses. And then you can get the honest to God look at how Darrell Brooks reacts to all of this. All right. You can see he doesn't give a shit. He never did. He doesn't feel sorry. He really doesn't. No, he's not. And I have some other videos that I'm going to play today. I'm starting with just some takes here, just from a couple of the witnesses that were very overspoken or outspoken. I could play the kids speaking. I
I
don't.
don't know if I can take that.
I don't need to. We know what he did. We know what he did. But let's go further with Attorney Opera to see how things wrap up here with this total d bag.
I'm very grateful to the court for its patience and listening to all of these victims here today. It was very, very important that you hear from them directly, and the stories that they shared with you, really very personal and very compelling as to the impact that this crime had on so many people on so many levels. The focus of my comments, Your Honor, will briefly speak as to Darrell Brooks and his prior history, because I think it's important there's a record of that. But I don't intend to spend a lot of time on Darrell Brooks, because I think what's already been said is the most important message that I'd like this court to think about overnight as you consider your options here. I will tell the court as to Mr. Brooks' prior record. The court is aware from the bail jumping charges he's pending on several felony counts in Milwaukee County, 21 CF 5020. He's
We're going to get to this too. I have a follow-up case that we're going to show with just judge's remarks and a little bit of his remarks to see how everything still is all about Darrell Brooks. And this will get to the Erica Patterson when he ran her over with his same vehicle. He hasn't faced charges of that yet. And which is funny about this whole situation is when he goes in to court, he is very confused because he wants time served for a portion after running over Erica Patterson, because he was in jail or prison, whatever, while awaiting the Waukesha trial for a year. And, you know, the judge in that case is very clear. You get 18 days served. That's the amount of time that you served. And then you were bailed out. The time you spent in jail was related to Waukesha, not running over Erica Patterson. You don't get time served for that, jackass. And, oh, don't worry. She'll lay down the hammer on him, too. Even though in that case, he's 100% respectful in the entire case. He actually has an attorney in that case. He's crying and whining like a bitch again, of course. That's pretty standard for Darrell Brooks. But the judge kind of lets him have it. She was nice to him in a way. But at the end, not in her sentencing. Oh, no. Not in the sentencing. I'm going to jump ahead. She's going to go through his history of all of his charges. We've already heard them, I believe. Let me see. I'm going to pop ahead a little bit here.
suspended sentence, and the other, he was very few of the victims who were struck had any idea this car was barreling down on them. It's an act of a coward, plain and simple. They had no way to know it was coming. And he mowed over them and ran them over without any ability to defend themselves. What is so offensive about this conduct, Your Honor, is obviously the violent nature of it, but even more so, the defendant's conduct and behavior in this court, his complete lack of regard for the decorum of the court, the respect of the court, and I don't mean you personally, of course you deserve that as well, but I mean for the sanctity of the court, the courtroom, the process that we as Americans respect and treasure and protect for well over 200 years, and he can't engage in the most civil behavior as being quiet when another person speaks. Many, many people came into this courtroom over the course of the trial and the proceedings. Every one of them was able to sit and obey the court's order. If you ask them to stand up, they'd stand up. If you asked them to sit down, they'd sit down. If you told them,
I told Mom, and let's see who I missed somebody else. Kim Bryant, how are you? Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you coming in. Of course, thank you. Front Psycho, if I haven't mentioned it. Brenda, good morning. Good morning. Hopper's pretty good here, but you get to see a good example of Darrell Brooks prior to his own sentencing statements. This is how he's going to behave. Watch this with Hopper. It's pretty good. Well, I wouldn't say, you know what I mean.
courts in session, be quiet, they all would. Everyone was able to do that except Darrell Brooks.
Hi, Gracia. Hi, Doc.
I think he was able to do it. I just don't think he wanted to. I just think this is all part of his charade. This referring to himself in the third person, trying to distract him or detract himself, I should say, from the events, taking absolutely no responsibility. It's the act of a narcissistic coward. Those words have been used here today, and nothing could be further from the truth. He is a coward. He ran like a scared little chicken from this parade, trying to slither away in the dark of night, but only to stop long enough and try and take advantage of good citizens that would help him. He calls and lies to his mom, right? Get me an Uber. I can't get into it. He lies to the officers repeatedly. We saw the time of his arrest. We heard the testimony from Daniel Ryder, a good man with good intentions and a good heart who took this murderer into his home.
Sorry, Kimberly.
And held him there long enough for the police to come and take him away without any knowledge whatsoever of what had gone on. He takes advantage of everyone. He's extremely manipulative. He absolutely thinks he's in control of everything, when in fact, as he sits here in custody, he's in control of nothing except for his own behavior.
Mr. Brooks, be quiet.
Except
I'm
for
not
his
gonna sit here and be disrespectful.
He's not going to sit there and be disrespected with those long-ass fingernails. No way. You ain't going to disrespect Darrell Brooks. Lord knows, this is sentencing. Disrespect him. What are you talking about? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Hi, Rob Pay. How are you? Gracia. How are you? Tammy. Good morning. Good morning, Bonnie. Hi, Kay Wood.
Hey, Rob Pate.
How are you, my friends? Oh, Darrell, he's, hey, D-Wayne. Hey, D-Wayne. Yeah, look at those long-ass, nasty fingernails on Darrell.
Yeah, gross.
Gross-ass piece of crap. But, oh, don't worry. He's going to hold it together, I'm sure.
Disrespected.
Mr. Brooks, be quiet.
I'm not gonna
You'll
sit
have
here
your
and be
opportunity.
disrespected.
These are sentencing arguments and they can make them.
So I could do the same thing?
Mr. Brooks, there's nothing disrespectful. They're doing it in
Yes,
a
it is.
respectful
Okay,
way.
call me out of my name again.
Yeah, call me out my name again. You call me out my name again. So I can do the same thing? Sure, you can do the same thing, Darrell Brooks. All right? It's your sentencing. All right? Feel free to do the same thing, jackass. All right? Yeah, he grew claws for defense in prison. That was his plan, Chucky. Shut
Right,
your ass.
Faves? Yeah, shut your ass, Darrell.
Hi, Cynthia and Patty Cake. How are you? Yes, Darrell, he just can't keep it together. He can't sit quietly. Can't sit quietly. But the judge stands strong in this one. Sit tight.
Go ahead, Jimmy Hopper.
Judge, these are the facts. You heard from so many of these parents and so many of the people that were there of that.
Dim, I hate to pause it again. This guy here, I'm going to circle him. Darrell Brooks actually brings him up at some point in trial, and he's like, "Who's this dude over here? Like, no one's answering this question." He's Attorney Opera. He's the prosecutor's investigator. This is the guy that does the investigation stuff. All right, that's the only reason he's sitting there, and he obviously looks like he wants to beat the living hell out of Darrell Brooks. I love his reactions throughout this portion. He literally looks like he wants to beat the hell out of Darrell Brooks. He's delightful. Well, within reason.
Fight or flight, right? That kicked in. He ran. He fled. He tried to protect his own self. That's it. That's all he did. Everybody else sprang into action. Whether that action was to immediately account for their behavior, for their family, and get them out of there to safety, whether it was good Samaritans and
Sorry, Dwayne. I try and grab everybody. My bad, my friend. My bad. Sorry, I tried.
Judge, I really thought long and hard. I had a video clip that I was perhaps going to show to you. You've seen a lot of this during the trial, but I mean, it comes from the clip when I showed during my closing argument near the end of the parade route where the Catholic community had been struck and all the shoes laying in the road and things like that. That person that took that video walked down Main Street for quite some time and captured quite a few.
Hey, Chup, can you hold this down for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to let this play. I know where it goes, but I'm going to let this play. I'll be right back. But yeah, I got to go. You know, it's Sunday. It's laundry day. So.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Few images, and it's really quite powerful, but I also thought it's really quite painful. But one of the things that was just so remarkable to us as we watched things like that was the average citizens that just sprung into action to save somebody else. There's a particular moment where there's a person on the ground fervently performing CPR on a victim in amongst a pool of blood without any regard for themselves whatsoever. I don't know who this person was. I don't think I'll ever know, but it's a prime example of the good that came out. So many people talked this afternoon about good versus evil, and I definitely believe that's what this case was about. Darrell Brooks is the epitome of evil. He is evil in person.
Please.
No, you may not.
The community is good.
Order
The
the
people
court so
are good.
I think it'd be
The
best for me to
victims
just go
are
into the
good.
other
Mr.
courtroom.
Brooks, I'm talking.
I don't care about you talking.
I don't care what you care about.
I know you don't.
Sit down and be quiet.
Nah.
Everybody has told you that.
Nah. See, you got it all wrong, Miss Opper.
Judge, the community has spoken. This jury returned a verdict in 2 hours. That's how open and shut this case was.
Actually, it was
Everybody saw it.
Actually,
Everybody but Darrell Brooks. This jury deserves to be commended for their conduct, their
God bless you,
patience,
though.
their
God bless you.
service.
Mr. Brooks,
I asked to go to the other courtroom.
I'm not
so we
sending
wouldn't
you
have
there.
So we wouldn't have to go.
it's not, that is not a place you get to request to go to. It's
So
when you disrupt the proceedings.
I'm
She's
not trying
almost
to disrupt
done.
The proceedings. I'm trying to go to the other courtroom
No.
so she can finish saying the
I wanted-
BS she got to say.
I wanted to share something with you, Judge. This is
Shut
something that came
your
in
ass,
December 5th,
Darrell.
2021. An anonymous letter came. Well, it's not anonymous. It's signed, but it's from a person we don't know. From another state, from the state of Kansas. December 5 of 2021. This person took time out of her day to write a card it's addressed to the Waukesha community, and it was sent to our office. And she wrote, "We have been praying for the healing of your community. Please know that there are people who care deeply all over this nation." That's the kind of message Darrell Brooks needs to hear, because I know during the trial, there was a lot of cards, a lot of messages received in my office and in your office good, hardworking, decent people that respect the law, that respect human life, that respect their neighbors, that would take the time to comment and say, good job. We support you. We are with you. And you saw that strength behind me all day. Those young kids, children coming up. I mean, Your Honor, I'll say this. God is good. There's been a lot of talk about God. There's been a lot of talk about religion. Darrell Brooks brought the Bible into this courtroom. These children are remarkable for their strength, for their healing, their physical healing. We haven't met these kids before. We've never met them. We met them today for the first time. You would never know the serious injuries that they suffered as a result of Darrell Brooks by looking at them. Of course, there's much healing to be done. But isn't it remarkable that in a year's time, look how far we have come as a community. Look how far these families have come. These families, these victims that stood up and pointed to Darrell Brooks and said, you will not beat me. You will not knock me down. That's what we need to move forward with as a community, Your Honor. His behavior is done. We're done with him. He has forfeited his right to be in this courtroom. He's forfeited his right to be in our community, period. There is not one thing that mitigates this sentence, not one. He deserves the absolute maximum sentence on all counts consecutive. Look, Judge, you saw the videos. This wasn't him plowing in to one large group of 50 people at one point in time and hitting them. It was linear. He hit one, kept going. Hit two, kept going. Hit three, kept going. All the way down the street. That's consecutive sentences, Your Honor. That's intentional, willful, volitional conduct that warrants consecutive sentences stacked one on top of the other, just as he stacked victims up as he drove down the road in complete disregard for any other person whatsoever. We kept the kids out of the courtroom in the trial, Judge, but boy, it's impactful to listen to them today and realize this isn't just, victim GG. This is a child that you willfully ran over with a 3,000-pound vehicle, as so many people so adeptly observed. Police officers, first responders, the medical professionals. It's kind of weird, Judge, because we're coming up on the anniversary, of course, and we're coming up on the weekend before Thanksgiving, which is a weekend that a lot of people.
What's funny is, well, not funny. He pauses, and if you didn't catch this in the background, is he says, allegedly, of course. It's not alleged anymore. You've been found guilty, jackass. It is not allegedly anymore. Right? But he has to pipe in with his allegedly. No, it's not allegedly. You've been found guilty, jackass. All right? That's the deal. Now, this is Hopper's last case. Hopper's last case is this. She retires after this. She is, and believe it or not, she is 65 years old right now. She doesn't look like a 65-year-old.
Yeah. She's the president of Crime Stoppers now.
Yeah. She's, yeah. I mean, what a wonderful person. But no, she worked her ass off on this case to make sure that she did it the right way. And she dealt with him accordingly. Despite everything that happened, she knew it was going to be a circus the minute he was going to go pro se. But she's like, yeah, we'll deal with it as we deal with it. And be honest with you, hi, souls, girl, Jesus is Lord. How are you, my friend? Basie was quite the rock star in this as well. She was funny. She made me laugh at times when one time he said something and she goes, grounds.
Yeah, that was funny. They made a great team. Witchow was really good too.
Yeah, Witchow was good. He held up his force when he had to. He did the opening statements, Opera did the closing statements. They had everything all planned out for how they were going to do it. Zach Witchow generally would do cross on all of the female victims. There's a reason behind that. All right, because he comes off as the soft gentleman. All right, compared to Darrell Brooks, they knew what they were doing. They were putting on a case. And yes, and that's what it is. But yeah, everything they did was planned out and ready to go. Said my awful comment, ready to go back to restrained self. Have a good day. Wonderful, happy chat. Okay, Wood, yes, but remember, he's not having a pleasant time in prison. No, he's not. It's not going well for DB, as he's not segregated anymore. He's not set aside. He is with others, and well, they don't like him. And quite frankly, when he came off and said that he was a member of the Bloods, all right, this comes into play because they disavow him and treat him like shit in prison because, well,
yeah, they don't condone that kind of crap.
They want nothing to do with it. It's bad when a gang hates you.
Right.
I mean,
for sure.
They are disavowing this guy. They're like, screw you, he ain't part of us. No way. And yes, he's going to have to take it and take it and take it. He already has. He had his teeth knocked out. We might get to that today, too. I might show that video, too. I got several keyed up here. So, yeah, but here we go. Attorney Opera, she's nailing it here.
We'll pay attention to on the calendar, because here in good old Wisconsin, it's deer hunting season. It's a lot of families going out, starting their Christmas activities, Christmas festivities, Christmas shopping, whatever it is. So it's kind of a weekend that comes around every year that on its own, it's not a holiday. It's not really a known day, but we all know that first weekend before Thanksgiving and what it brings. We all look forward to maybe a short work week, spending time with family, getting together. And here it comes. And it's the anniversary of this attack at the hands of Darrell Brooks. But we're going to have an ability to move on from that. We have the ability, we have the tools as a community, Your Honor, to do that. And that's definitely because of everyone that responded to this incident, the first responders, the police officers, the medical personnel that got paged in on a Sunday night when we're all hunkered down, Packers had played, it's cold, it's dark, and they all had to spring into action and respond. And there were law enforcement from all over southeastern Wisconsin, fire department, EMTs. No one paused, no one hesitated for a second. They just came and helped. And I think that's something that our families, our community can build on as well, Your Honor, to say evil is easily overcome here. Darrell Brooks deserved to be locked up for the rest of his life. He cannot be trusted ever, ever again. I ask you to consider, I'm not going to go into it, but we had filed the other act's evidence, some of the language in that other act's evidence, the intimidation of the victim. It played out repeatedly in this courtroom. He tried to intimidate you. He tried to intimidate me. He tried to intimidate the witnesses. He tries and tries and tries, but he fails. He's not the strongest person in the courtroom. He's the weakest person in the courtroom. Morally bankrupt. That's what he is. His character is void. I asked Attorney Basie, what's the word I can use for low character? And then we came up with the fact he really has no character. It's one of the factors the court needs to consider. Protection of the public, severity of the crime, they all weigh heavily in a stacked sentence, Your Honor, consecutive maximum across the board.
I have it on, Denise.
Every one of these victims deserves that. I don't know how we look at any of these victims and say, well, he got concurrent time on your case because your pain and suffering wasn't quite as bad as the guy before you or the girl before you. They all deserve that sentence that speaks to their count. The restitution, Your Honor, I filed the paperwork. We are seeking restitution in the dollar amounts from my letter that we reviewed this morning. I'm asking under 97320 sub 11 sub F that you enter an order that the Department of Corrections shall keep 50% of any wages Mr. Brooks may earn in prison and any monies that may be paid on his books or canteen account, and direct those monies to be paid directly towards restitution. He should not be able to work or receive canteen with the restitution. The restitution in this case is ridiculously low when you consider it. And that's, again, because of the generosity of good people all over the world that contributed to a community fund, and other individuals who generously donated to help these families pay for funerals and medical expenses and things like that. Can you imagine when you heard these mothers describing what their children have been through? Can you imagine the medical bills on these? And he's lucky he's getting off with a $200,000 bill for restitution, Your Honor. I think he should have to pay every last penny of it. I also wanted to wrap up again, Your Honor, by saying you didn't hear from all the victims. Certainly, there were some that just cannot bring themselves to this court in any fashion, in any way. And we ask you to keep them in mind as well, especially the Bill Hospital family. Bill was, walking in support of his wife's team and trying to be in a supportive role as he had done on many other occasions, and lost his life for that simple action, that simple act of good that he participated in. There were some groups that are not represented here today, but I know you heard their story at trial, and you're aware of what some of them went through that maybe wasn't specifically addressed here today, but I just ask you to keep in mind that we certainly presented a wide array of victims to you, but not everyone. And then certainly, as I mentioned at the outset, the community as a whole absolutely demands justice for these victims, these families, and for the community itself. That Darrell Brooks has no redeeming value, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Brooks, as far as I can tell from the correspondence from your mom and from you, I believe there may be closer to 3 individuals plus yourself who wish to speak at sentencing.
Now this right here, this is bullshit. This is typical Darrell Brooks. All right? He's going to freaking apologize here. All right? Just sit tight. All right? She just, yes, softly spoke, and she just mic dropped him. All right? But sit tight. Darrell Brooks is going to do a Darrell Brooks thing. And, yeah. This shows his character right here.
Since we lost an hour or so today, although we did go late, so arguably we gained it back, I'll take the overnight to process what I've heard today, in addition to what I've already been doing on my own. And I haven't seen any written statements on your behalf. I don't know if anything came in today during this hearing, but I'll rely on the verbal statements that are made, and then yours at the time of sentencing or prior to me imposing sentencing, okay?
I apologize. It's very emotional and frustrating right now, so I apologize to you, Your Honor, in court.
I understand it's frustrating, and I understand that
It's just very hard to sit and, it's almost like a pile.
Speaking of pile up, Darrell Brooks.
Wow.
Wow.
We didn't.
Read the room before talking about a pile up, Darrell Brooks. All right, how many times are you going to bring in these terrible, terrible, annotations that are so terrible. But yes, oh boy, it's just a huge pileup on Darrell
It's his
Brooks.
subconscious telling on him. So
Speaking of pileups, Darrell, you were there. This happened. You should know all about pileups, jackass. All right, but that's what this guy did. Yeah.
So I still understand that I have to conduct myself respectfully, so I apologize.
I think the apology needs to be made to the victim, sir, more so than this court.
Oh,
I was just referring to
I know.
the.
All right, anything else from either party before we conclude for this evening from the state?
No, Judge, we'll see you at noon. Thank you.
From you, sir? All right, we are in recess. I'll see everyone tomorrow at noon.
still no apology. Even
no,
after the judge prompted him to do it.
yep. No apology to the victims. No. Just pointing it out. Oh boy, Darrell, you did a good job. You did a good job in court, I guess. Now Darrell Brooks eventually does go to trial. Oh well, I better show another thing here. This is pretty good here too. They are going to have Darrell Brooks. All right, he has to come back because they have to readdress the financial weight that might have occurred and what he might be responsible for. So he's brought back to court. All right, let's see how Darrell Brooks reacts to certain things. Let me see here. Get to it here. Give me just a second. He got some new specs. That's good. Got some new specs.
What the court needs to do. It is true that the court does need to consider the statutory criteria in 973.20. That's been referenced by Attorney Covey, both orally here in court today and in his motion to deny restitution. There are 5 criteria, really, when you look at the statute: the amount of loss suffered by any victim as a result of a crime considered at sentencing, the financial resources of the defendant, the present and future earning ability of the defendant, the needs and earning ability of the defendant's dependents, and any other factors the court.
That you order 50,000 or 500,000 exercise, because you do have the duty, Judge, to balance 5.
There is potential for Mr. Brooks to obtain money in the form of payment to sell his story, to engage in a book deal or a movie offer or whatever it is. We know that this case garnered international attention. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that someone may at some point offer him some funds or some sum of money to share his perspective on this case. Yes. And so I would hate for this court to, set $100,000 today and then tomorrow he gets a $500,000 book deal. That would be.
God, he looks gross.
And go beyond the scope and the purpose of restitution. So for that reason, Your Honor, even noting his current limited ability to pay, we feel it's appropriate that you order the full amount as requested. Thank you.
Before I turn to the defense, I don't want to make any assumptions, but it's my recollection, probably during the sentencing, maybe even during some of the witnesses.
Actually, his counsel makes a good point here. I probably won't share, but the counsel makes a point that the chance that DB is going to get a book deal or people are going to pay for his response is probably not likely. All right, he's completely hated. Now there was a rumor, all right, that Darrell Brooks was offered $10,000 by a media to talk to him, or well, actually not offered, that he asked for it. All right, actually, it wasn't offered; he asked for it. There was a story where a media company had called in; they wanted to talk to him, and he said, and he pretended like he was someone else, and said, Joe Brooks ain't talking to anybody for less than $10,000. And I don't know if this is true or not. All right, that's the story. It was out there, but yeah, it was kind of crazy. But he was requesting $10,000 for any sort of interview that he would do. Whether or not that came true, well, it obviously didn't come to fruition. But whether or not it happened in the first place, we don't know for sure. Everybody had kind of heard about this, but nobody knew if it was true or not. They make the same statements. But yeah, I mean, his attorney actually does a good job in saying, listen, this guy ain't making money off of his story. Trust me. All right. Nobody wants to pay this jackass for anything, but they try and make the case for him.
He could if he wanted to actually be honest.
Well, and apologize, maybe.
Yeah.
Because he still's never apologized. And when we get to the next clip, you'll see he still can't bother himself to apologize to Erica Patterson for running her over with a vehicle. I have that too. Sit tight. I have several clips we're going to share today.
Or even during maybe discussion related to jury selection, obviously the community has
50,000 or 500,000 or 5 million. It's very unlikely that Mr. Brooks would be able to pay even the smallest fraction of that. But this hearing still matters. This is not just a moot point or a moot exercise, because you do have the duty, Judge, to balance 5 sometimes competing factors as listed in Wisconsin Statute 973.2013. I mentioned it in my motion. And then, of course, the 5th factor was I sent a letter to the court about that yesterday. The 5 factors are the amount of loss suffered by any victim.
Yeah, I'm actually going to get to that, Crystal, today. I think I have something pulled up for that. Sit tight. We won't be able to see... Well, we won't be able to see things exactly, but yeah, I do have something pulled up for that, I think. So sit tight on that one, okay? But here his lawyer's just talking about it. We'll wait till the judge gets a chance to respond. Let me see here.
Largely, if not all, funded by taxpayers. And even if there were some grants that are there from federal resources, which I imagine there might be, that's still taxpayer funded. And so I think that's another consideration for this court to look at and consider. Now, I do have to balance. I'll look at all the criteria. Obviously, significant amount of loss. That's criteria reflected in sub 13 sub A. Sub 13 sub B, the financial resources of the defendant. Clearly, they are extremely limited at this time. However, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that the possibility exists for Mr. Brooks at some point in the future to possibly profit from a book deal, a made-for-TV movie, a movie, whatever it may be. Maybe it's just doing an interview or whatever the case may be. I don't think that can be ruled out, even if he is obviously the person who was convicted of that. But there was international attention. This court had Court TV in to stream the trial. This court has always streamed every hearing as it relates to this case, in part because of the number of victims. And I could not, I don't have a courtroom big enough in this county to hold all parties involved. Certainly during the trial, this courtroom was packed on a daily basis. And to say that the trial went viral, I think would be an understatement. And so all of that relates to, though, that catch-all factor and the possibility that Mr. Brooks could come into a sum of money at a later point in time because of the story that he could provide or tell on his own behalf. You need only look at Netflix to know that crime stories are incredibly, they're things people want to watch. People find them interesting. People want to know the why. They want to know the how. And it's certainly not just this case, but we've seen it, and not that that's been on Netflix or anything, but other cases have captured the attention. So I don't think it's beyond the, it's not an impossibility, let's say. It's, I think, a very real possibility that someone might produce something someday for more of a commercial or theatrical type purpose, even if it's a true crime type situation. And that it's possible that Mr. Brooks could profit from that. And that certainly is why at the time of sentencing, the court addressed the request by the state to related to the escrow account. I think that's important to do that here. And so when I balance all of these things, when I consider the significant amount of the loss, the court's desire to hold Mr. Brooks accountable, and even if it's a small reminder with his prison monies, that does serve a very important rehabilitative role, because even though he's serving successive life sentences, we all hope that one day he truly is able to accept full responsibility for what he has done, not minimize his conduct, and so that this award of restitution in full, as the state has requested, is important. And I will grant the additional amounts, as I indicated earlier. It's $10,246.20 to crime victim compensation. That total then to them for the judgment of conviction is $134,466.85. Then to Wilbur and Associates, which is Hartford Insurance, $108,000. $164.61. Optum subrogation, $118,805.62. And then Progressive Insurance for victim GGG, $10,000, and Progressive Insurance for victim Q, $104,662.64. That is, of course, on top of what a court had already ordered to EMC Insurance of $47,193.29. So again, I'll grant the request of the state. Will also include that it be paid.
I'll actually answer this. Don't worry. Someone will make a movie about it just because of the way he acted in court. Actually, nobody will. Because it was shared on YouTube, live streamed. All right? There's no need for anyone to make a movie about it. All right, it would be worthless because it was live streamed on YouTube. It was covered by Law Talk with Mike, who did a great job. It was covered by my dear friend and co-host Emily D. Baker. All right, it was covered by so many channels that there would be no need to ever make a movie out of this.
I disagree. You wouldn't believe how many people don't use YouTube.
I'm being honest with you. It was covered so highly by some of the largest law tubers in the world.
I know, but like my family, for example, never watch YouTube ever.
Well, we're talking Ben.
So there's a lot of people out there. I know it doesn't seem that way because we watch it all the time, and there's so many people that do use it, but there's a lot of people that don't ever use it.
Well, I guess let me make it more clear. Money wouldn't go to him. People might cover law and crime and pay them for the coverage and cover it, but actually to speak with him, I highly doubt it. I think it would be.
Well, I don't care if they speak with him. I'm just saying I think that there's a lot of people that haven't seen the trial because they don't watch YouTube.
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't think he would ever make money off of it. No one's going to pay him for his input. I don't think. I think it would be a death sentence to whatever channel or whatever they're trying to do. I don't think that they would ever pay him money for his input. I don't buy it. However, I do understand them protecting the victims by saying it could happen. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think that's the point. Just in case.
Because it was covered live on air, and if anyone wanted to make a TV series out of it, it would come out of Law and Crime or whoever else was in the courtroom covering it. It wouldn't be like just some, we're making a movie here about this. They'd be paying Law and Crime, not Darrell Brooks, all right, or whoever was in the actual courtroom covering it. So I believe that's the point I'm trying to make, is that nobody is going to reach out to try and interview Darrell Brooks to make a buck, all right, or to give Darrell Brooks a buck. My God, that would be a death sentence to anybody's channel. All right, to like, look at me, I paid Darrell Brooks for a conversation. Like, all right, how'd that go for you? I mean, you understand the optics of that, like giving him money. I mean, seriously. I mean, oh God, it's just a death sentence. You can't do it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe one day. We'll see if he even survives in prison long enough for that to ever happen. I don't know.
Able out of any prison monies per state statute, and the court under 949.165 makes the additional amounts of restitution ordered today subject to the escrow account under that statute. Anything the state thinks I've overlooked as it relates to this?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything the defense thinks I've overlooked as it relates to this?
Judge, I think I'm good. I'll just let Mr. Brooks know that I'll set up a phone call with him soon. If you could just wave your hand so I know that you heard that, sir.
Oh, and
Yeah,
I
he did.
forgot to state this at the beginning of the hearing. Obviously, it made reference to the video conferencing. He's appearing through the Zoom platform through our technology. It's working. I can see him. You can see him. He's indicated twice now that he hears us. Clearly, the technology is working and it meets the minimum standards for video conferencing. And given that there was no testimony that was taken today, too, it was obviously very appropriate for him to appear.
Well, it seems like it's nice. He was able to get some new glasses out of the deal, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, they make him look even more creepy.
Well, Calvin says, look how many Betty Browick movies they made, Jay. Well, it could happen. I'm saying I don't see him profiting off of it. That's my point. I don't see, maybe, I don't know. I don't see him ever profiting from this. Quite frankly, outside of us covering a retrial or a rewatch of his trial, he's a lost and forgotten individual. When it comes to actual him just being a human being. 10 years down the line, maybe. I don't know. I don't buy it. But maybe. Let me see. I got some other stuff pulled up here. Give me a chance to pull it up. Sit tight here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we want to do this one here, is what I wanted to do. Oh, wait, you know what's good? Caricatures. Let me see here. This is actually a good one. Let me see if I can pull up her channel though first. Before I pull this up, let me pull up her channel. And I'll share this in chat myself. There you go. If you want some of the best coverage ever, go here. Because I'm going to pull this up. During trial, they had to toss Darrell Brooks jail cell. And I can't remember if they were looking for pictures or what they were looking for here. All right, but hang on here. Okay, let's see if I can make this bigger. I don't know if YouTube will let me. No, it may not. Well, she'll make it bigger anyways. It doesn't matter. Because that's only going to let me do that. All right. But anyways, all right. So here's Darrell Brooks' jail cell. All right. As you can see, it's got a toilet. It's got a bed. All right. So we got that going on. All right. And she's going to share some photos of what's going on in his jail cell. As you can see, he's got some milk there. Yeah, 2%. 2%. He's got his coffee cup there. Pretty good. Now, this is during trial. All right, they had to toss his jail cell. This is what they came up with when they were tossing his jail cell. This is under, and I just shared this in the chat. This is Carrie Kuchar's production. Pretty good. All things related to Darrell Brooks. She has it covered. You can see he's got his Bible open, of course, on his bed. Looks like good living conditions. Pretty good there. Here you can see he's got a table filled with you can see there's some pictures off on the right. You see the pictures off on the right, family probably, and him, and a cross and things like that. This is where he was staying during the time. She tries to pull up what's going on there. Let's see here. She gets really in depth in this. She's going through basically all of the stuff sitting down. There's his stool. Now he has a stool that he can sit on. All right, this wooden or metal stool that he's just putting all of his court filings on there. Pretty good. Pretty good. You can see he's doing a lot of work, a lot of effort into his trial. As you can see, I don't know if this is allowed because they found like a transistor radio in there. I don't know if this is allowed. Maybe he got this through commissary.
Oh, that's yeah. They can buy like a little radio and headphones.
Yeah. Now you can see it's kind of interesting that his toilet paper roll in the top is already covered with poop. Apparently,
gross.
Yeah. He got pre-used toilet paper. It's already covered in poop. How's it going, Darrell? It's going pretty good there in the prison, but yeah, he's got the transistor radio there. All right, and he's got some books and stuff like that. Let's see what else. Oh, there we go. We got, I don't know what the pink drink is. He has a pink drink. This looks like he's trying to become a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle because, as you can see, he's got the pink drink. I don't know what the hell that is.
That doesn't look like any Kool-Aid I'd want to drink.
It's recycled TP, anybody. That's what he got. Oh, it could be Pepto. It looks like a light form of Pepto.
Gross.
This is when they tossed his cell. This is what was in there. Lord knows what any of this is. Oh, maybe it is mouthwash.
I doubt it.
I haven't seen. It's something he needed badly, is mouthwash. I guarantee you that.
Oh, I'm sure he does, but I doubt that's what it is. Gross.
But yeah, you get a little close-up view there of pink drink. I like purple drink. He apparently likes pink drink. Whatever that is. Now, he did have a lot of the gospel pulled up in there. All right, focused on the gospel. There's Ephesians 2. Very important. Very important. You just said Jinx. Who's the guy? The Jinx. Robert Durst. Wasn't that? Did you watch the Robert Durst stuff at all?
No.
Oh my God, HBO had a wonderful special on Robert Durst. It was amazing. It was amazing. He told on himself in the middle of this documentary that they did on him that part of it might have led to his the Jinx. Yes, Jinx. Yeah, the Jinx. It led to his downfall, kind of. This documentary. It was so crazy. If you haven't seen the Jinx with Robert Durst, go check it out. It was awesome. All right, Robert Durst is not awesome. No, that entire HBO special was freaking amazing. Somebody wants a birthday song. Let's see. Who wants a birthday song? Looking. Did you see a birthday song in there?
I didn't, but I saw Dwayne put it in there. I think he just wants you to sing it.
Oh, wait, hang on. Hey, Jay, Michael and I came for a birthday song. When you have a minute.
Oh,
you want a Just J Hip birthday song? Ooh, me, I hate to give Michael a Just J Hip birthday song. Is that what he wants? He wants a Just J Hip birthday song? I suppose, if that's what he wants. Hang on. No, that's too high. Me. Well, happy birthday, Michael, but I do have to say, happy birthday, you're not special, you're getting older, not much better, but I just wanted to embarrass you, and that's why I'm singing this song. So happy freaking birthday, you're not special, but you're special to us, Michael. But anyone else on the street, you have to go ask them. All right, probably not, maybe, but I don't. You ask them. Happy birthday, Michael. I hope you have a wonderful birthday, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and have a delicious piece of carrot cake. Happy birthday, Michael. There you go, Lady T. I hope I did it justice. I hope I did justice.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Happy birthday, Michael. From all of us to you. Happy birthday, Michael. But you're not special. Just special over here, not out there. You have to ask them. Was that good enough, Lady T? Was it good enough? I hope so. Look at that. All the happy birthday Michaels coming in. That's wonderful. Look at that. All of the happy birthday Michaels. That is wonderful. Homework. You have to watch all the episodes. All the episodes of The Jinx. The Jinx is great. They did 2 seasons. They did a second season of it, actually. They did season 1 and season 2. Season 1 was just amazing. Oh, man, it was so good. Thank you, Cubby Cat. Thank you for the 2. Thank you, my friend. Yes, the Jinx. Yeah, the Jinx was really good. See, I'm giving you something to focus on. Chop, chop. The Jinx was really good. But, well, if you don't have HBO, you probably can't watch it. But it's really, really good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, Robert, I think his name's Robert Durst. Really good. He came from he's smiling and singing thank you. He knows the world sucks for the most part. Thank you, Jay and everyone. Oh man. You are so welcome, Michael. You are so welcome. Happy birthday. Have a great, 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 wonderful, wonderful day, my friend. Have a great day. But no, check out the Jinx. It is a good show. But yeah, it was just fun. It was just fun to watch. Let me see. Now he was in F126. F126. Faves. Did you know? Or it means Faves. And Chup. Did you know he was in F126?
Nope.
Yeah, that's where he was. Um, and this was the size of his cell while he was preparing for trial. All right, basically, it was in a walk-in closet. Okay, and this is the manner that he kept himself in. Let's see, we got. You might think he had a pillow up here. No pillow. All right, see, that's a towel. All right, hang on, we'll get to that. There's the Bible right there. And see, they gave him creamer. What the hell is this all about? He gets creamer? That's bullshit, if you ask me.
He probably got that from somebody that ordered it.
It could be. Yeah, it might have been. I bet you. Yeah, that was probably one of the.
Or he stole it from somebody.
Yeah, from his commissary is my guess. That could be from commissary. Let's see, we got a little bit more here. Let's see, we got some close-ups there. Look, you got some creamer. Okay, don't like that at all. Here you can see he's, what he did was he propped all this crap up under his mattress to make it look like he had a pillow. He didn't have a pillow. He had a, he had a towel. That was the best he had. Oh, but they wrote on the wall. I don't know if this was him, but it said, "Keep the faith, keep the faith." All right, Darrell Brooks, keeping the faith. This is pretty good. No carrot anything. Chocolate cake, says Lady T. Okay, chocolate cake it is. I'm a carrot cake guy.
I like both.
I've always been a carrot cake guy because it helps my eyesight.
The only cake I don't like is red velvet.
What? I like red velvet cake.
Yeah, red velvet's not really my jam.
It's not your jam, yeah. Well, yeah, no, I'm a carrot cake guy. On my birthday, my folks always get me a piece of carrot cake on my birthday. You know, along with my homemade runs, I get my carrot cake. That's what I do. But, well, you can see he's going to keep the faith in there. He's got his little towel there, all right, to wash his face with before trial. That's always good. There's his table where he's preparing for trial. This is very important. Good times. He's clearly doing a lot of work, a lot of effort going in. Let's see. Okay, so we go back to that. And then, yes, back to the pink cup. We're kind of repeating here, but go check out Carrie Caricatures, whatever. They're pretty good. And yeah, go check out them. Go check out their channel. I got more stuff to share. Sit tight. Let me see. I want to go to my history here. We want to go to when he goes to court. No, this is good. Now, this is when he behaves in court. Now, he's going on behalf of Erica Patterson here, right? Erica Patterson. Now, remember, he ran her over with a car, right? We do remember that. 146 of you here right now. If you don't mind, would you please just click the likey button for Just J-Hip? I appreciate it. Rosalind says, red velvet cake is an idea, not a flavor. Not a fan.
Me neither, Ross. Yeah.
Well, you know, for my birthday, Rosalind Duke always makes me a carrot cake. Always. All right. She always sends Just J-Hip. Actually, she usually hand delivers Just J-Hip a carrot cake on my birthday. Pretty standard deal. As this Rosalind Duke. She's pretty wonderful. But yeah, she loves to bring Just J-Hip a carrot cake on his birthday. Pretty standard deal.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Roz, for bringing me the carrot cake. What? You don't believe me?
Nope.
You know who else brings me a carrot cake? TJ. Tammy J does.
Now that I believe.
Yeah, Tammy J always does. And Rosalind says, I like chocolate cake. Otherwise, I'll have pie. I know you like pie.
And I do like a good cheesecake. Cheesecake is good.
Rosalind loves the pie. Well, here we go. Here's Dirtbag and Jim.
Mr. Brooks, he's present. I'm present. Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Hello, Mr. Brooks.
Hello, Judge.
All right, so we are here.
Now, here he's in because he's taking a plea deal after running over Erica Patterson in said same vehicle. All right, well, let's see what the judge has to say about him. When's Jay's birthday? My birthday is every day. I stay one.
December 23rd. Not every day.
I could have done a birthday stream today. Look, you screwed me.
You'll do it anyways. What's the difference?
You screwed me, Chop Chop. Seriously, today's my...
Come
And some recent political ads that have featured what happened out in Waukesha, that when sentencing hearing who received 11 months in the House of Corrections.
Was that domestic violence related?
It's difficult to tell because it's not a Milwaukee County case.
Top of that. And at the end of the day, he has 6 life sentences. 6, which is 18 days.
Statutory sexual seduction.
All right, so here they're going to kind of go through what he's been accused of, or, well, all of his crimes and stuff here. But hang on. Let me see if I get to the part here.
Manipulate and to control Erica. Her, it was his fault. Listen. Is this case? She would reach out and try and make contact with Erica. Pants that had to be cut off her at the hospital so that she could be treated. Tell when she heard a knock on the door. The enduring impact it has had.
All right, here's the thing. You remember that Erica Patterson was run over by Darrell Brooks, right? Here's the backstory. Here's the start to finish of what Darrell did. This is uncontested. All right, he pleads to this. This is what happened. All right, sit tight and listen to this. Hi, Roy. How are you, my friend? And Gary and Kelly Rager. This is important. Hang tight, sit tight, and listen.
But she has made the choice, the conscious and deliberate choice, not to be here today because of that.
All right, I appreciate your making that record.
I did file a documentation from Crime Victim Compensation for restitution.
I saw it, thank you.
When considering the serious nature of Mr. Brooks' offenses, Mr. Brooks' character, and the need to protect the public, the state is respectfully requesting that the court sentence Mr. Brooks to a substantial prison sentence in the Wisconsin State prison system. We are leaving the length of that substantial prison sentence up to the sound discretion of Your Honor. On November 2nd of 2021, Erica P. was staying in a hotel when she heard a knock on the door. She opened the door to find Mr. Brooks there, who was immediately argumentative with her, confronting her, took her cell phone away from her to prevent her from calling anyone for assistance or help. Erica left the apartment building and began walking down the street, and Mr. Brooks got into his red truck and followed. He would corner Erica at a gas station, get out of the truck, continue to argue with her, punch her in the face, resulting in a swollen eye, repeatedly attempt to get her inside of the vehicle. And then when she refused to get inside the vehicle, he would get inside of that truck and run her over. She suffered a dislocated femur, a fractured ankle. She had a swollen eye. She had cuts to her legs. And perhaps the most vivid picture taken by the Milwaukee Police Department is that of her pants, which show the tread marks from Mr. Brooks' tires, the tracks on her pants that had to be cut off her at the hospital so that she could be treated. That same day, November 2nd of 2021, there was a young prosecutor in the Milwaukee County DA's office. She was finishing a domestic violence felony jury trial. There was no victim that showed up for that trial, but she chose to go forward on it. She obtained 2 guilty verdicts from that case. That evening and the next coming days, after proceeding on a trial, she would review 22 domestic violence referrals, one of which was this case. She would reach out and try and make contact with Erica, and she couldn't get a hold of Erica. The allegations were so severe, so serious, that this young ADA chose and said, this case needs to be charged. Something needs to be done about this. So without victim input, this prosecutor issued charges of obstructing an officer, disorderly conduct, misdemeanor battery, and second-degree recklessly endangering safety, in part because we didn't have the medical records from Erica. Unknown to this prosecutor, unknown to the district attorney's office, was what Mr. Brooks was doing after he was apprehended and in the Milwaukee County Jail. One day after being apprehended and in custody, he would reach out and make a phone call and involve his own mother in intimidation. He would ask his own mother to reach out to Erica and tell her not to show up to court.
Enter Don Woods, piece of shit. Don Woods. He reached out to Don Woods and said, go intimidate Erica Patterson. Why? So he could get out of prison. To do what? What? Beat up Erica Patterson again. Intimidate her some more. This is... If anyone is responsible for what Darrell Brooks did more than Darrell Brooks, it's Don Woods, his mother. This piece of shit is responsible as well for everything that happened. All right? She's not going to be held accountable, of course, but she's responsible. All right? She's a complete piece of shit, is Don Woods. And even his grandmother, who sat there at trial saying, oh, it's all about mental health, and as a preacher and a pastor and a person of the Lord, screw you. Screw you, you dumb broad. No. That makes you culpable. All right? Terrible. All right? Don Woods. All right? Don Woods' mother. All right? Darrell Brooks' grandmother. She's a terrible, terrible person for even suggesting that we have to pay homage to mental health because of Darrell Brooks. Screw you. All right? Like, it's society's job to take care of Darrell Brooks because we failed him. We didn't fail him. You did.
Yeah, they did. They've been making excuses up for him his whole life.
Yeah. Don Woods failed him. You failed Don Woods by not being able to get Don Woods to get him help. Whatever. Screw you people. These people suck. All right? Well, that's one thing.
That if she didn't show up or if she told them she was not going to cooperate, that the charges would get dropped altogether. One day later, on November 4th, he would make direct contact with Erica P. His words to her, why did you do this to me?
I'll be right back, all right, Ketchup? You got this?
Okay.
All right. We'll let it play. I know where this is going. So.
Okay.
You know I love you. Listen, listen, listen. I've come to the realization that I'm not going to leave you. You have my daughter. I know your potential. I know what you can be. I want to marry you. I'm not going to play anymore. Will you marry me? And then the very next sentence, then you need to call them people, meaning you need to call the prosecutor, you need to call the district attorney's office, you need to make sure that these charges are dropped. 2 days after running over his girlfriend and the mother of his child, he's using emotional manipulation, promising a future, promising marriage, promising change, all in an effort to try and get Erica to drop the case and the charges. And blaming her, telling her it was his fault she was facing, in his words, 60 fucking years. And telling her she should have kept her mouth shut. Telling her the pain it was going to cause his mother because she called the police and made a report. The tenor of those calls would change significantly from emotional manipulation and promises of a future to direct threats of violence. Telling Erica that he had people out in the street watching her, that if she moves, he could tell his people to move, that he could have her taken care of if she didn't make efforts to have the case dropped. Bishop Brooks is a really smart individual. He knew that her medical records would be crucial in this case. He told her not to sign a medical release. And that if she did not come to court, in his mind, there was no way that the state could prove the charges and the case would be dropped.
Darrell is diabolical.
But he would threaten her safety from the confines of the Milwaukee County Jail. Even in jail, even in custody, he showed the ability to threaten, to manipulate, and to control Erica. Mr. Brooks is the epitome of a domestic violence abuser. Someone who you even think when they have them locked up, they're offending and controlling. Unfortunately, none of that conduct was known at the time that Mr. Brooks was in the Milwaukee County Jail. It was discovered after the events took place out in Waukesha, and I'm going to talk about Waukesha a little, if at all, today, because what we're here for is what he did to Erica in Milwaukee County. But after the events transpired in Waukesha County, investigators with the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office went back and looked at his calls, and they found this intimidation, rampant intimidation, multiple calls taking place over a period of 10 days, all in an effort to ensure that she never came to court. All in an effort to try and escape his responsibility for his actions in battering and running her over. It wasn't just Erica who saw and experienced the defendant run her over on November 2nd, 2021. There was a citizen witness that saw it. That person certainly was traumatized what they observed. But they reported his deliberate actions in battering her and then running her over. This was not an accident, as Mr. Brooks would try and get Erica to portray. And so the offenses that this defendant committed in Milwaukee County are extraordinarily serious. They were life-threatening for Erica. They were life-altering for Erica. They were traumatizing for Erica. And then after the events of November 2nd, within the confines of the jail, he invades the province of this system. A system where we rely on citizens to come into the courtroom, to take the stand under oath, and to tell the truth. He did everything he could to prevent that from happening. All in an attempt to escape responsibility. for those actions, he is singly and solely responsible. When considering the defendant's record at the time that these offenses were committed,
It does not appear to.
protect the public, the state does believe that a substantial prison sentence serves the interest of the public in this case.
And he didn't do that. He didn't do that, I think, because Mr. Brooks recognizes that these circumstances warranted him to plead guilty. Now, look, the maximum possible penalty for the court here is 10 years in, 10 years out. And I don't think a max is warranted here. I think if we looked at this case in isolation and we didn't have the Waukesha case.
Yeah, you're wrong, dude. This dude's getting the max, bro. It doesn't matter about Waukesha. He ran over a lady. My God. He's going to get the max, I think. Let's see.
Just want to tell you that throughout these 3 years, this matter has affected the people that matter most to me. Namely, my children too have been affected by this. It's kind of like a
oh no, that's terrible.
Rift. This situation happened with the mother of one of my children, and coming from a broken home myself with those types of issues that my mom went through. I think I have a better understanding at this point now.
Yeah, that's not a good look. Yeah, the back of his wheelchair does say drive.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's terrible.
I should have covered that up.
But once again, Darrell Brooks is like, coming from like a broken home, it's all about him again. Oh my God. Yep.
Poor friggin' Darrell.
Let me see. Do you think he's going to say, I'm sorry to Erica Patterson at any point in time?
Probably not.
Let's see.
Of the way that these can affect kids growing up. I want to say that I take responsibility for my actions fully.
Hey, sorry.
I'm not gonna hide behind anything. I'm a man up.
He's gonna man up.
In these years, I've made the choice to look at those things and decide for myself that the cycle stops with me. I have 2 sons, and I definitely wouldn't want them to be involved in anything that would hurt people they love, or when they have children, for their children to be hurt in those ways as well. So that's part of the reflection that I've been doing. I've also, it's been difficult because of my situation in prison to actually get things done because of my custody status, but I've taken the initiative to program in those areas, dealing with domestic violence issues, childhood trauma issues, things of that nature. I'm doing fairly well with those, which is something I never had, growing up. And, just to have the opportunity to look at better ways to deal with frustration, deal with anger, to deal with understanding. I do also want to say for the record that this is the only type of domestic violence issue that I've had that was any type of personal relationship, and from the aspect of someone that I have a child with.
Okay.
Yeah, from that aspect.
All right, well, good job, Darrell. All right, well,
Just the only time you got caught, Darrell.
now let's go to the judge here.
Place with the sheriff's department based on those issues, but you have never acted up in court. You have never been disrespectful. You have never done anything. You are an absolutely different person as you deal with this court than you were as portrayed out there. And I recognize that, I appreciate that, and I absolutely am separating these issues. These incidents, the initial incident and the intimidation that took place thereafter, took place prior to what happened in Waukesha, and you will be sentenced simply on those. I don't ignore them, they exist, but you have, it is not my issue that I have to look at your behavior for these offenses. I have a question for you before I get to my comments on that. In looking at your record, something jumps out at me.
This is actually kind of good of the judge. I don't know if this is true or not. But the judge did pull this up, so pay attention because she's gonna pull up a point, and Darrell Brooks is gonna be crying and blubbering through this, but just she actually does come up with one solid point here for Darrell Brooks, and I don't know if it's true or not, but that shows how astute she is to focus on this and find this out. So pay attention here. This is actually interesting.
You have a number of offenses starting in 1999 all the way up to 2011. Some gaps. What happened? What were you doing between 2011 and 2020? Did you live here? Did you live somewhere else? You don't seem to have any criminal contact. What were you doing?
I did live out on the West Coast.
Is that when you had that was the 2007 Nevada case? Were you in trouble out there, or were you living a...
No, I was thriving, Your Honor. I was thriving. I was working. Had a great relationship with my children.
How old are your children?
21, 17, 13, and then my youngest daughter just started taking last week.
Which is the one that you shared with EP?
My 17-year-old daughter. Who started spelling in college. And I'm missing it.
Well, you are. But
I'm so proud of her.
That is an amazing accomplishment. I'm glad to hear that.
She graduated a year early because her academics were so up to par. I didn't get a chance to see her walk across the stage.
She sounds extraordinary. All right. So you were doing well. Right up until you weren't. So looking at this, it strikes me that you don't have a relationship that goes on for 17 years.
Now, he points out, hi, Jen Thunder, how are you? He points out that he was thriving during this time. And maybe he was. Maybe he had a job. But there was I believe, a 7-year gap between any law enforcement issues and him.
Well, here anyway.
No, this is in all of his court cases. There's a 7-year gap. All right, I believe is what she came up with from 2012 to 2019. A 7-year gap with no interaction with law enforcement.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that when he was out of state, that he didn't have any police interaction. I don't believe that.
They have it all. They have it all. I mean, they've already read through.
She said, "What were you doing? Were you gone? Were you here or were you gone?" So, I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
Trust me, they have all of the records. They're not going to ignore that.
Okay.
Every single thing there. And they're
That's fine. I just don't believe it because
I'm not saying
he's who he is. So, I don't know.
I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong in this time. I'm saying he wasn't caught for doing anything wrong during this time, allegedly, according to the judge. All right. He could have been picked up for something and it got dismissed. All right. But regardless, there was nothing that he was convicted of over a 7-year period, I believe. All right. So I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong for 7 years. I'm saying he wasn't convicted of anything for 7 years. And that's what the judge is trying to get to the bottom of is what happened, during this time. And he's like, I had a job. I was thriving, and he's crying like a little bitch, like Darrell Brooks does. He's, clearly, crying like a bitch. But don't worry, the judge is going to make things very, very clear how she stands in all this, no matter how contrite he might seem in court. Oh,
Why is he in the wheelchair, though?
well, because he's handcuffed to the wheelchair. Yeah. This guy ain't moving anywhere, Chub Chub. Are you kidding me? This guy, they've dealt with this jackass before. They're not dealing with it again. Although, and she even points this out in this trial, he's been very polite and nice throughout this entire trial. But she even says, all right, the officers are going to control you in the way they want to control you based on past behavior. So there you go. Suck it. All right. How are you, Stacy? How are you, my friend? There we go. But yeah, back to this. Here we go.
Or roughly thereabouts. And the very first incident of violence between the two of you results in you following her to a hotel, banging on her door, when she tries to get away from you, following her, cornering her, punching her in the face, and ultimately running her over. That was absolutely outrageous. And you are so very lucky that it was her leg versus her torso or her head, which would have killed her likely. Your behavior was so outrageous that it can't be downplayed. And I look at that in isolation. I look at that as this is someone whom you've had a long relationship with, whom you have created a child, and you disposed of her as if she were roadkill. And that behavior by itself is outrageous. Then you factor in the intimidation. The quotes from that those jail calls, not the usual. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of intimidating jail calls that involve, let's be together. If you want us to be together, you have to get this dropped so we can be together. And I can show you how very much I love. I've heard that a million times on jail calls. But when that didn't seem to work, you doubled down and intimidated her in such a manner. Mr. Jones may say it's not the worst because there wasn't any follow through, that nobody followed her from her house to court on the day she was supposed to come and testify and ran her off the road or did any of those things. Of course that could have happened, but we were 10 days out from the incident. There was no trial at that point.
Sorry, I muted. Hey, this is important. All right, this is important, okay? Because the trial wasn't set yet. Anything could have happened to Erica Patterson. He could have had his people, all right, offered. The only difference is Waukesha happened before this could have happened. All right, that's the point that the judge is making here, is that Darrell Brooks, if he actually had people out there in movement doing his thing, he could have offed her. She might not be alive today had Waukesha never happened. That's the point the judge is making. All right, that's how terrible of a situation Erica was in. All right, so I just want to bring that to light. That's the point she's making here. Is that this trial wasn't set yet, and I don't know.
Well, when the victim doesn't show up to a pretrial in Milwaukee, they dismiss the charges.
Exactly. And he is working so hard to make sure that doesn't happen, whether she's alive or dead. Doesn't matter to him. He is doing his job to make sure she doesn't show up. And
Well, it was her fault, remember?
He's threatening her. Don Woods bails him out. And then what's the first thing he does when he's bailed out? Races to Waukesha and punches her in the face. All right, this is the first thing he does. Races up there to intimidate her. All right.
I'm sure he blamed the parade on her too. That was probably her fault, according to him.
Well, and that was her fault. That was her fault. She should have been nice and just dropped all the charges and done what he told her to do. That was her fault. That's very clear. Very clear. No, it's not. But no, I want to point this out. The judge is making this very clear. What happened here? She's not stupid. I like this judge. This is a good judge.
Who knows what may have happened at some point. This is the very first part where the only thing you're in control of is trying to get her to call the DA's office and say, I'm not in. I'm not prosecuting. So that was what you had at your disposal, was just to so berate her and so humiliate her and scare her. So as to get her to do your bidding. Because you're locked up, right? So you can't get her. But what you did was you told her, I got guys. I got guys who are going to get you. The minute you walk out your house, they're going to get you. If I wanted you dead, I'd kill you. You'd be dead. That is a horrible, horrible way to live. Because she may have 99% thought you were full of it. But that 1%, when she hears a noise in the house, or sends your daughter off to school. I'm your daughter in high school, half an hour late, coming home from school. I'm talking with her friends, busy, whatever. And what does that do to EB? Oh my God. Did someone grab her? Is this it? Did you call those guys? because I didn't do his bidding fast enough. That's absolutely horrendous behavior. And it is who you were. It's who you demonstrated yourself to be. Whether that was the full content of your character, I can't speak to. But on those days, that's who you demonstrated yourself to be. I very much hope that you are on the path that you described. Because you likely have a very long life ahead of you. You spoke to your prisons, your custody status. Are you held in segregation? Are you by yourself? What goes on there?
Housed in city.
You are.
Yes.
I appreciate the efforts that you're undertaking to better yourself, to say, this is not okay, and I've got to figure out why I thought it was. And if that is going to come through classes or anger management or reflection, as you put it, all the better. I have no idea, nor am I considering what's going to happen with appeals and all of that sort of thing. But you have to live with yourself. And getting right with yourself is going to serve you as well as humanity. So, the first thing, as Mr. Jones mentioned, is that I need to consider whether probation is appropriate. No one's asking for probation. Probation is not at all appropriate here. So I reject that. So this will be a prison sentence. You asked, and I promised that I would take this as it was for itself, and I will. This time that you are serving will include absolutely, positively no contact with EP. You have said that your child with EP is 17 years old. The state is not seeking a no contact order with her, are you? With the child?
No.
No, I'm not going to do that. She's about to start college. She will be in charge of whether there will be any contact. Any more than you are going to have to pay. So I will waive those due to your inability to pay. What I have ordered will be due and payable from your prison funds at a rate to be determined by the Department of Corrections, then will be payable as part of any sort of extended supervision that you're released on. And if you are...
No, they had mic issues in the beginning. There was technology issues in the beginning. So eventually they get things to work a little bit better towards the end here. So yeah, that's what happened there. And yeah, he's not gonna. What he gets is, he gets basically 2 20-year sentences. that's basically what he gets here. But after 10 years, he could get, supervised release. But of course, they're consecutive. So after 20 years, he might get supervised release. Don't forget, he also had to take a deal with his nephew, who was with a friend, and he took his Beretta out and shot at them in a vehicle. And he had to take a deal on that one too, where he shot at his nephew, all right, with a stolen handgun. Okay. So he had to take a deal on that one too. This all happened prior to Waukesha. And some judge let him walk the beat and said, for $1,000, he's probably good to go. He's good to go. Yeah. You feel comfortable with that one, Chip Chup?
No.
No. $1,000. They let Don Woods bail this jackass out after firing gunshots at his nephew and his friend. All right. After driving over Erica Patterson in a vehicle. All right. Bell jumping. And they let him go. for $1,000. And look at the trauma that it caused based on judges being sissies and not holding people accountable. And that kind of brings me back a little bit to, like, you look at Judge Belitha and him not holding Bruce accountable, and they try and walk things back as like they're like, well, there was a bankruptcy. Yeah, 4 months later, with 4 months to hold Bruce accountable, and you didn't do shit. All right, no, because you're a sissy judge. All right, yeah, Zachary Belitho is a sissy judge. He's a coward and didn't hold people accountable. And this is the type of shit that happens when you don't hold people accountable. All right, the same thing that happened with Darrell Brooks. Might not be the exact same situation, but that's the point. You have to hold people accountable for what they do. And if you don't, bad shit can happen.
Yeah, it only emboldens them to do it more.
And when I cover like the Jeremy Hills case, and they're always talking about Jeremy's always videotaping them. Of course he is. Because let me be honest with you. If John Crook or Almino P was to fire a shot, all right, at Jeremy Hills, and he's not videotaping based on Levy County and how they handle things, they're going to assume he's the instigator and they're going to let it go. All right? He has to protect himself at all times. All right? Because otherwise, no one knows. He has to prove he's not the instigator. And the only way to do that is to film himself every time he drives by that property. All right? So when he says, hey, I have to videotape myself at all times, that's the truth.
Well, they're the ones that said, if you don't have no video, it didn't happen.
Exactly. And, you know, I listen to these dummies on the other side, and I hear them say some of these most ridiculous things like, well, I have to, Elemental P has to send me all of her stuff for the drive-bys and everything because I'm the only one who can keep the records. All right, well, that's nice. You're keeping the records of the evidence. But why did you have to share it on your live stream? That sounds to me like third-party contact. Not on Julie's, because they're stupid and they don't understand third-party contact. It's on Elemental P giving it to Tully's, knowing she's going to share it. That's the standard. All right? They're idiots over there. All right? Doesn't matter what they get out of things and whether court cases are dropped or whatever. Elemental P's in a heap of shit. And that's never going to change. The rest of them, meh. But Elemental P is in a heap of shit. And also Fleabag. All right? Trust me. All right? In bankruptcy, these people are going to want their money. And she has it. And, well, actually, I don't even know that she has anymore. She better have some damn good accounting. But we'll see what happens. I've seen, in this case, I've seen things go in weird directions. But I will say this. If it goes in the direction it should, where banks and the government and lawyers are going to protect themselves and make as much money as they can for themselves, I would think they would be investigating this thoroughly, but we'll see. we'll see. I'm going to finish up a little bit of this, and then we're going to move on. I'll end my day here, and we'll just wrap up this trial here.
If it's not paid by the end of extended supervision, it will convert to a civil judgment. Ordering it because it may conflict directly with your custody situation. And I don't want to put you in a situation where you cannot do something that I've ordered because of your custody situation. So I'm going to encourage you to take domestic violence intervention programming to turn to the amount of the sentence. As Mr. Jones noted, this was punishable by the possibility of ten years initial confinement and 10 years extended supervision as totals, if I ran them consecutively. I do give you credit for entering no contest pleas to these charges and not putting EP through a trial. I do take into account the entirety of your situation. Therefore, I'm going to sentence you as follows. On 21 CF 4596, count 3, the second degree recklessly endangering safety with the domestic abuse enhancement, I will sentence you to 9 years in the Wisconsin State Prison, 4 years and 6 months initial confinement, and 4 years and 6 months extended supervision. On 21 CF 5020, count 1, the intimidation of a witness, I will sentence you to 9 years in the Wisconsin State Prison, 4 years and 6 months initial confinement, and 4 years and 6 months extended supervision. Those counts will be consecutive to one another because they were decisions made on different days. You made volitional decisions to engage in that behavior on separate days. And it will also be consecutive to any sentences that you are serving from any other jurisdiction. That is the judgment of the court. You do have the right to appeal my sentence, and Mr. Jones will go through those rights with you. I wish you well, Mr. Brooks.
Judge, the credit?
He does not have credit given the way
he would have
18 days credit on
4596.
Yep, 21 CF 4596. 18 days independent credit on that one.
That Mr. Brooks is now.
Yeah, that was the thing. I'll put this back up on screen. He was upset. He didn't get credit for the year he had served in prison, year plus, but he wasn't in prison. Or wasn't in jail for what happened to Erica Patterson. He was in jail because of what he did in Waukesha. See, it was a completely different thing. Why was he in a wheelchair in court? They do this with mass murderers, typically. They'll put him in a wheelchair, especially when it's people that they've had problems with in the past. They don't want to deal with it. So it's just standard for what a lot of times they do. That's why he's in a wheelchair. We would see him in a wheelchair many, many, many times in the future on all of his future court cases that come up. But yeah, that's just what they do. That's why.
Do they have the electrocutors on?
Actually, Chop, are you gonna make a whole new episode out of this?
No, I just was wondering because he kept saying that was going on and it was a lie. So I was just wondering.
No, the judge actually brings the officer up to testify for 30 minutes about the the shock devices on my ankles. And no, he debunks the whole damn thing. The funny thing about this, you know what I didn't catch? Damn it, I should have done this.
What?
I'm gonna give me 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes. Hang on. Let me see if I got this. Let me see if we can find it. Give me 2 seconds here. Just let me look at it. I'm not actually going to go over this. Just give me 2 seconds here and see if I got it. Well, I don't have it right offhand. It's okay. No. There was a Reddit post, and I missed this in trial. I didn't bring it up. It wasn't majorly important, but there was a Reddit stream that was hashtag free Darrell Brooks. Okay? It was meant to be a joke. Someone posts in the as a subreddit as a juror, pretending to be a juror that's biased against Darrell Brooks. Okay? And this becomes a thing for about 30 minutes in court. Right? Where it's proven to be like this was a joke. It wasn't a thing, law enforcement looked into it. But no, they did have probably an hour-long whole ordeal on this Reddit post of hashtag free Darrell Brooks, and someone posing as a juror claimed that they were biased against Darrell Brooks because of the news coverage. And it kind of created, you know how Darrell Brooks reacted, right, Ketchup? He was like, "This is very serious deal. Like, I'm deeply concerned. I think we should probably have a mistrial." And it's like, clearly, probably someone in your family is responsible for this.
Right?
He's like, "This is deeply concerning." Although all of the devices of the jury members were taken from them, they were sequestered. But he's like, "This is deeply concerning. I think it's probably a mistrial."
Sounds manufactured.
There was a whole Reddit deal, and I had it pulled up earlier, but I guess I lost it. But it was adorable. And it was Darrell Brooks, just like, I'm just deeply concerned by this. I mean, you might say it's a mute point, but it's not mute to me. I mean, this is heavily disturbing. Obviously, the jury's been tainted.
Oh boy. He'll do anything to derail or deflect.
Oh, it was quite adorable. But I think we've come to the end of our Darrell Brooks time. It's been fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed having a good time with Just J Hip and Chup Chup, watching some Darrell Brooks. And what are we doing next, Chup Chup?
Cardi B. I've been looking at trying to figure out which is the best stream to use.
Will you share it with me? I know nothing.
Yeah, I'll send it to you when I find the best one.
Yeah, I know nothing about Cardi B. So I'm going to be brand new in this one. I didn't watch it. But on Tuesday morning at 8 a.m., Just J Hip and Chup Chup, we are going to take a look at Cardi B. In whatever case this is, I know nothing about it.
It's about she was going to a doctor's appointment at a building, and she got into it with a security guard from the building, and the security guard said that Cardi B attacked her. Like assaulted her.
Well, that sounds like
in the hallway. And
that probably happened.
And she was pregnant at the time. Cardi B was pregnant.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, WAT. No, WAP. 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 Oh, that's not her. She doesn't do the WAP. Who does the
Yeah,
WAP?
yeah, I think that's her. That's her.
Oh, wait, Cardi B does the WAP song?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I need chat to confirm this. Does Cardi B do the WAP song? I don't think so. Really?
Yep.
Oh yeah, Stacy, go check out the Reddit post. You'll grab it. It's about 30 minutes of stream on that. It's good. Wait, Cardi B, hang on. Oh my gosh, Jay, says Kitty Pants. Wait, Cardi B does WAP?
Cardi B does a lot.
She's the wet ass paper.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
No, I need to know. I need an answer on this damn thing. Cardi B's not wet ass paper. Hang on. I gotta go to Google. Anyway. Cardi. Oh. No, that's Megan the Stallion. Oh, wait. Well, it's Cardi B with Megan the Stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they're both combined with the WAP. Did she get found guilty in this? I don't. You know what?
It's not a criminal trial.
All right, yeah. Don't spoil it for me. No, I don't want to get spoiled on this.
Okay.
One. Oh man.
I haven't watched all of it either. I've only watched parts. I've always wanted to watch it. So
say it, WAP some more, Jay. Hey, we've been having a Rumble stream of just your songs. I'm gonna. All I know is now Cardi B apparently is a part of the Way Paper Company. All right, pretty good company. You should all go join. And now Ketchup's brought me into this deal, and we're going to do that on Tuesday, looking into some major wet papers.
Well, that's not really what it's about.
Well, it may or may not. We'll talk to Rosalind Duke about that. But anyways.
Oh, no. Shut your ass, Jay.
Shut your ass, Ross is gonna be so mad at me. Alright, well, I'll relax, everyone. Have a good day. I hope you have fun. Rosalind, mop up your WAP. And I'm just gonna say. What?
Nothing. Oh, man.
I'm so lucky I get to do so many cool things over here and say so many disgusting things, but also get to be beloved. I love you, my friends. I'll see you in the morning. For what's tomorrow?
It's Monday Responday
It's
thingy.
Monday. Yes, it's the Monday Responday thingy. Let's see how it goes. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. All right, go watch Tug. He's probably going to be on at 3 or 4 or whatever your time is, and I'm sure it'll be fun. I like this Tug guy. This Tug guy's pretty good. You ever seen him?
Mm-hmm.
You seen his show before?
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
Oh yeah, and then there's this Jeremy Hales. Now he has he does like the storage lockers and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean he's actually a liar though. Well, no. Here's the thing. He says that nobody in Ohio can build around his property, and that's not true.
Huh?
That's not true. He says nobody in Ohio.
Well, because their land is surrounded by public park land.
Well, yeah, that's a lie.
Okay.
There is actually a law in there that says nobody can build around that property. It's landlocked outside of just JF. Just JF.
Jesus.
And next to Jeremy Hale's very clear. It's in the paperwork. It's in the law. Check it out yourself. Check it out yourself. Just JF can move in there, of course. Of course. Ask Jeremy Hales about it. He'll agree.
I thought you were moving to the dump site. I mean, Otter Creek.
I'm buying both.
Oh, okay.
Buying both, but no. There is a section of land that is sectioned off for just JF to purchase right next to Jeremy Hale's home. All right? Because obviously we're twins, born the same year, same initials, all right? Same birthday, kind of. All right? Same, a lot of stuff. There you go. Suck it.
Jesus. Okay, bye everybody. Have a good day.
And yes, the area I can buy is about 1.66 acres.
Shut your ass, Jay.
Well, that was a fun show. I hope you enjoyed the end of the Darrell Brooks trial. We'll move on to Cardi B on Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe. Have fun out there. Go check out this the Umbrella Man guy. What's his name?
Tug.
Tug. Yeah, go check out Tug. I think he'll be in on 3 or 4. And then I guess there's this Jeremy Hales guy. I've been promoting his channel, trying to grow his channel over the last year. Just been trying to grow his channel, doing the best I can. Go check out his show. I think it's probably pretty good. Maybe he'll mention me on his show. Given the fact that I'm doing all this work to promote Jeremy Hales, but maybe. I had fun today. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe out there. And of course, what do we say when we end our shows?
Shut your ass.
Wait, let's say that.
Bye.
No.
All the best.
All the best. Shut your ass.